What is up, YouTube? My name is Eben, and today we are going to see the very awesome, very cool Mega Deck. It is called the Mega Deck because, well, it runs 5 different Mega Pokemon. Actually, it runs a total of 6 Megas, but 5 different ones. And we're going to start off with the Mega that we actually run 2 of, which is Mega Manectric, because he's going to allow us to power up our high energy costed Mega Pokemon. And his free retreat, of course, isn't bad as a pivot either. This is going to be probably our most pivotal Mega. It's the one we really want to get up the most. So while the others are kind of like one-ofs, we are running 2-ofs on this guy. And of course, we're running 2-of on Manectric EX as well. And Manectric EX is also kind of a good starting Pokemon on your opening turn too, so it all works out. Now this is kind of a casual deck, but I wanted it to be competitive enough that you wouldn't just lose while having fun. You could also have fun while, winning, which is nice too. Alright, our second Mega makes a lot of sense because, well, Manectric EX is Lightning, or Electric type, so we're running Mega Ampharos. He's a great power-up with Mega Manectric, obviously because of the type match, but he's also a great guy who can pick things off that have taken Turbo Bolts quite easily without having to hit himself back, since we're not actually running Rough Seas in this deck. But also, he's just a great Pokemon to come in at any point once he's fully powered, and just pick up huge KOs. Just with the fact that he can basically kill anything that he attacks once, because even if it's got more HP than his Exavolt attack, he can of course get that guaranteed paralysis and then pick him off on the next turn, or have another Pokemon pick him off instead if you want. Our next Mega is Mega Mewtwo, and this is an expanded deck, by the way, guys, only because of a couple of cards and you can move them out, but I wanted to make it expanded for a couple of reasons, and one of them is this Mewtwo EX right here, because its X-Ball allows it to actually be an effective attacker itself if it doesn't go Mega. But Mega Mewtwo EX here, the Y version, does not need any energies of his own type to attack, which makes him a perfect fit for this deck, and he also really synergizes very well with Mega Manectric EX. So this guy was just a natural sort of inclusion. He's a great beat stick, also capable of picking up one-hit KOs very potentially. We had to go to another type to pick up our next Megas, and we actually went with Mega Glalie and Glalie EX. He really synergizes well with some of the other cards here, mainly because he likes double colorless energy, which Ampharos and Mewtwo both like as well, and can also lay in some heavy hits with Instant Freeze on Glalie, and of course Cryomouth here on Mega Glalie EX potentially. This guy takes a little bit of maintenance, but under the right circumstances, he's an excellent choice, and you don't have to get every Mega up every game, obviously, since we're running just 1-ofs. And our other Mega, our final Mega, is going to be, well, technically in some ways not a Mega, although game-wise he's a Mega. As far as we're concerned, he's kind of a Primal, really. It's Primal Kyogre EX. Now, he might not seem like he makes a lot of sense at first, but his previous form can use the DCE, even though he can't. But his Tidal Storm actually helps you power up your benched Pokemon quite well. And it allows him to do some cool things as well by like putting that 30 damage on other Pokemon, putting them into much more easily into KO range for some of our other Pokemon. Like Glalie EX, for instance, who hits for 150. Add in that extra 30 from Tidal Storm, and you're talking one-hit KOs on non-Megas EXs to pick up some prizes. So this guy actually makes a lot of sense. If the situation's right, he's a good target for Mega Manectric EX as well. So he actually works out pretty well in our just Mega-tastic deck. And of course, this Mega deck is supported extremely well by Hoopa EX, because he can, well, come out and just get you any 3 EXs and add them to your hand, which allows you to pick up those Megas and their smaller forms. So really stock up your hand to have that turn where you're just going to play down a bunch of Megas. He makes perfect sense. And our only other Pokemon is going to be Shaman EX. We're just going to run one, but he makes a lot of sense with Hoopa. And even though our hand is probably not going to be super low a lot of the time, which is why we're only running one, when the situation's right, we can Ultra Ball or Hoopa for him, and he'll be there to draw us some extra cards, and that's still quite nice. Now, we are running, as far as supporters go, 4 Sycamores, and this can help us discard energies for Mega Manectric quite easily. And like I say, we're not going to bring every Mega up every game, so if we discard some components with Sycamore, it's not that bad, because from your opening hand, you're going to kind of know what your game plan's going to be, which Megas you're trying to build, and which ones you're going to kind of have to forego. But on that note, we are running 2 observations because it shuffles stuff back into our deck, so that's going to be a little nice for us when we do want to save something. Another reason we wanted to go expanded on this is because of Alessa. Now, you could run, we actually run another Skyla, but if you wanted to run a second Skyla over Alessa, you can move this deck pretty easily to Modified. But I do really like Alessa because obviously she can just go get you 3 Spirit Links right just straight up. So you can just slap them right down on the Pokemon they belong on and make sure your Megas get up pain-free. So she's really nice. It's like a battle compressor versus secret target early in the game. Now, on that note, we do have a Skyla. This gets us Spirit Links ideally, but it can also, well, of course, get us other things, just whatever you need in the situation. We also run an AZ. This allows us to pretty easily use EXs as chump blockers. We can bring them in and ignore big retreats and stuff like that and just call them up with AZ when the time is right, when they've taken a big hit for us. And the Pokemon, if it does have an energy on it, we don't have to worry because we run Mega Manectric EX anyway, and we also run Mega Turbo, spoilers. So this guy just makes a whole lot of sense. It's a great recovery. It helps alleviate the fact that you give up 2 prizes on every single Pokemon. And speaking of alleviating problems, Zerosic is here because Headringer is just atrocious for us, and this exists mainly to block that, but of course you can also slow opponents down by pitching off their special energies and stuff like that. So he is pretty cool in a number of ways like that, but he did need to make the cut for that. And our last supporter is Lysander. For all the obvious reasons, just pick up good KOs and tempo and all that good stuff. Alright, as far as Spirit Links go, we're running 1 of each Spirit Link for each Pokemon in our deck. So 1 Kyogre, 1 Glalie, 1 Mewtwo, 1 Ampharos, and 1 Manectric Spirit Link. We only run the 1 because we're basically only going to want to get 1 Manectric up, because we're running 2 of the Mega and 2 of the regular Manectric, just, of course, to make sure we get them. So 1 Link is all we're going to need. We're going to search for the Link, and then we probably won't need to get a second one up. It's that simple. We're running 3 Ultra Balls. You can opt for 4, but it was really hard to find a slot for the 4th, considering there are a lot of other things we kind of have to run. So we are just running these 3 Ultra Balls here. In my estimation, we got some card draw and other stuff and whatnot, but they discard your energies for your Mega Manectric, and of course they get you your Megas and then get you your regular EXs to help set you up, and they can go get Hoopa and all that good stuff. So they make a lot of sense. And speaking of things going to the discard pile, Versus Seeker, it's a lot of utility. You kind of know the drill on Versus Seeker by now. We're running 2 battle compressors. Once again, you can try to pick something out and put in a 3rd, but I think 2's enough, because remember that Sycamore and Ultra Ball do this card's job in a lot of regards, and the only things we really want to battle compress are maybe a couple of energies, and then some key supporters for Versus Seeker, and that's it. So we're just running the 2. And we're also going to run Mega Turbo, because a lot of our Pokemon can profit from it, and some of them have bigger attack costs, and Primal Kyogre especially can like this, and so can Mega Ampharos, Mega Ampharos. And it can surprise our opponents, basically catch them off guard by powering up a little bit faster than they thought we could. And it's in many ways sort of like a pseudo Mega Manectric, just a little bit faster. We are running 1 Sacred Ash, however, because sooner or later we're probably going to be forced to discard things we don't want to, and this can get us up to 5 Pokemon back, which is amazing. So a pretty necessary utility. And speaking of necessary utilities, we are running Town Map because obviously we got a lot of one-ofs, and having them prized can be bad, and so if we take just a couple of early prizes, we want to make sure we take the ones that lead to a good game state afterward. So if you have like a Mega or a normal EX in your prizes that you really want, this Town Map's going to allow you to find where it is, and so when you pick up 1 knockout, let's say with your Mega Manectric, this gets you the Mega that you want to evolve to on your next turn, for example. Alright, and we are going to run an Ace Spec because we are in Expanded, but this is a good card to cut, obviously, if you're going to try to move this deck to Modified. This can be great for powering things up, because Mega Manectric can power up a 4-energy Pokemon that just hit the board. Because let's think about it like this. You get your Mega Manectric, you just powered him up this turn, it's say your second turn, and you got your Kyogre EX on the bench. You hit with your Turbo Bolt, put 2 energies on it, pass turn to your opponent. On your next turn, you can straight up Scramble Switch, and you can move those 2 energies from your Mega Manectric onto your Primal Kyogre, and you've got your 4 right there, and you can even attach your energy for the turn to somebody else if you want, or say to your Primal Kyogre, so he's got 5. Your Primal Kyogre can move those 2 energies back to power somebody else up when he attacks with his Tidal Storm, and he's got 3 energies right there under those circumstances. Next turn, you can just play your 4th energy and Tidal Storm again. So this card does have a lot of utility, and we do have some high retreats, so it makes a lot of sense here. Really a good pick for us. And speaking of retreats, we do run 1 Escape Rope, especially for early game. If we don't like our starting Pokemon, we can get it the heck out of there and disrupt our opponent at the same time, which is all pretty good. And our Stadium, we're going to run 3 Silent Labs. This is because there are a number of things that wall us very very effectively. Namely, Giratina EX is very bad for us, but also Sigilif if we're going to be an expanded, and then of course Suicune as well with their safeguards are problematic for us, and Aegislash EX can be problematic too, and we have ways around them in the deck, but this is easily the best, and this is the reason we're not running Hex Maniac either, is because we've got this card to defend us. So play it cautiously, because you need that answer in those matchups. And finally, our energies. We're running 3 double colorless energies. For the obvious reasons, we don't really have the room for the 4th, and we don't necessarily need it, but a number of our Pokemon really appreciate it. And we're running 5 lightnings and 5 waters. Just because we really need those lightnings early is why we're running such a number of them. And the waters because we need more for energy costs. So like we need the lightning to make sure we get it for our Mega Manectric, and this is because our water types can be a little more demanding, mainly Primal Kyogre. So we're just doing that. That seems to be the ratio that works. So anyway, that is your 5 Megas, your Mega Pokemon deck. I strongly encourage you to play it because you know what? It's going to raise a lot of eyebrows and you're going to have a lot of fun, and the deck is more synergistic than you might think at first when you hear 5 Megas. So anyway, until next time, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Why not? It's free. You should do that thing. It would support me and it would make you a good person, and everyone wants to be a good person. So follow me in that link down below, and I will see you next time.